Alright guys, so I got my temporary power, my little Generac 10,000 EXL. If you'll go back in my videos, I did a Will It Run on that. That thing was in pretty bad shape. I had it running and it ended up getting a bunch of gas in the oil. I fixed all that, got it running again, got the correct fuel shut off on it, ready to go. Right now that's powering that reel, which is powering the monster box, so I can have some tunes in here and my chargers, and also my two LED lights, the only two I have in here. I did get my lift back inside. Later on I've got to rebuild that other cylinder. This is actually a car lift. It will pick up, I think, 6,000 pounds. But I repacked both these cylinders, and this one had a lot of water in it, and it had rusted down inside the barrel, and I couldn't get down in there with a hone, and I didn't know it was there. I got as far in as I could go, cleaned it up, put it all together. Well, it instantly chewed the seals out of it, so I'm only running on one cylinder now, which is fine for picking up lawnmowers. But if you go to pick up a car, it's not going to do it. It's going to twist that frame, I'm sure. So I need to get that fixed, but right now it's functional. And yeah, I still got a lot of junk in here. I did get my boxes in last week or week before. I've got to get these fans going for fires, which we're fixing to start burning. Ask me what those are for in the comments and I'll let you know. But right now this will work. I got my wood stove. It's all hooked up, ready to go. I've already burned several loads of wood in it to keep warm out here. But yeah. So it's workable. I can work out here in an emergency, or even not an emergency. It's not ideal running a generator, but that thing holds a lot of gas. I can fill it in the morning and it'll run all day long. And about the end of the day, it'll finally start running out. Like, I'm talking 8-9 hours at least, it'll finally start running out of fuel. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. When I get time and money, we'll worry about running conduit and getting actual lights. Those are just temporary. They're not even attached. They're just wired on. Those little plastic fixtures you screw a bulb in, and I just put some of them LEDs in them just for now so I can have some kind of light and a little bit of power. And my lift, it's actually 12 volt. So I just keep a battery in the floor and there you go. So that works. It's great for doing this kind of stuff. It's like right here now at eye level. I ain't got to bend over. It makes my life a lot easier. Got my skid steer fixed. I blew a line in it this weekend working on it, which that's to be expected. It's an older machine. It probably sat for a while before I got it. I was running it and it was running fine. It was doing everything it's supposed to. I was running the pallet forks and the grapple, and I happened to pull into the shop up that hill, which was leaning backwards, and when I got it and moved it the last time of the day yesterday, there was a puddle of oil in the sand, and I thought, oh crap. Well, it was dripping out of the back. I don't know, we'll get around here, you can still see it. That's all the oil that was just trapped in the belly pan. And it looks like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of oil. And I even thought it was. I'm like, I just replaced the hose and topped it off, and look. But you lower it down, we're still full in the sight glass. So we're good to go. I'm gonna raise it back up and let the last little bit of it drain out. And got a little far forward. It's a little load, but it picks it up. We're just gonna let it sit there and drain. It'll help oil my boards down some more, if anything, and it'll get a lot of that oil out. And then tomorrow I'm gonna take it to the other shop and pull the covers off the end and start blasting. There's a bunch of bunch of twigs and stuff in the bottom, and some old oil from various leaks over the years. I got to get all that cleaned out because it's got a plastic hydraulic tank and a plastic fuel tank, and I don't want that rubbing and messing up either one. But I'm happy with it. The machine's working great. It does not have the lifting power that my New Holland did, which is fine, because it'll pick up everything I need it to. But I had a big thick stack of sheet iron. I don't know, it was at least 3,000 pounds. My New Holland would pick it up, but it was everything it had to do it. Better put my welding gloves back in the truck. I was splitting wood yesterday and I didn't want to grab a hold of a brown recluse or copperhead. Figured these would help soften the bite a little bit. Anyhow, I don't remember where I was at. Oh yeah, so the New Holland would pick up the load, but it would get a little tippy, but it would carry it. This one, now I'm not saying it won't pick it up, it just doesn't have the weight in the ass end like the New Holland did. So it'll just, as soon as you start picking it up, it just lifts the back of the machine up. I think in time, I could get some weights for it or something, but I'm not too terribly worried about it. There is one other thing I have to do to it, and it'll just help tying this thing down. I don't like that it's got, of course I'm missing a chain. I've only got 3 on it, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Right now I'm having to tie it down by this bracket under here. And that's part of the engine cradle, which I'm sure it never would pull it off, but I don't like that. These aren't big enough to put these kind of chain hooks in. So I'm probably gonna weld a D-ring right here at like a 45 on either side. It'll be a good pulling point if I get stuck, and it'll give me a good place to tie it down. Then I can put one at all 4 corners and it ain't going nowhere. But for now, this will work. I'm just going across town with it to the other shop and hopefully get it cleaned up good. And we got to burn some brush tomorrow if it's a burn day. If not, well, I'll be in the shop all day working on this. I did figure out it's missing the rocker switch, the momentary switch for the glow plugs. So in the cold days, it's a little hard to start, but we haven't been having them. It's been in the 60s and 70s, so that hasn't really been an issue. And I'm not 100% sure the glow plugs work. So first off, I got to get a switch, which I bought one on eBay for like 16 bucks. It's got the plug. You can barely see that white plug right up there in the corner of the cap. That's what that glow plug switch plugs into, that rocker switch. And then it just pushes into the dash. I'll have to make sure the wiring's got power to it. And then once I get the switch in, then I'll make sure that the glow plugs that they work. And then I noticed the return lines, them little fabric lines on the injectors are seeping. So I am going to have to replace them. That's minor stuff that I can work. I can work the machine and fix it as I go. But it's all just step at a time. Hang on, let's shut this thing off. This is what I like about this machine. It's like a welder. Take the load off, the idle's down. And this is 10,000 watts all the time, not just 10,000 watt startup and like 9250 or 9500. It's 10,000 at all times. So worst case scenario, I can plug my welder in here and actually be welding out here too, which would be nice. But for now, I can use the welder on my truck, which I have been. But I like to get my Omni Pro 220 out here because that hard wire is awesome for welding. So let's close up the shop. Time to go get a shower, go get the kids, come home, cook supper, and start all over again tomorrow. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, guys. We will see y'all in the next one. Later.